Did you know millions of seniors are told they have protein in their urine before they ever feel a single symptom? You're sitting in your doctor's office, the paper on the exam table crinkling under you. You've done this visit 100 times, but this time the doctor pauses and says, "There's protein in your urine." You nod, trying to stay calm, but inside your mind is racing. Is this serious? Is this how kidney failure starts? You go home, search the internet, ask friends, and start hearing about healing hot drinks like bone broth, herbal detox teas, golden turmeric lattes, and special cleansing soups. They sound comforting, traditional, almost magical. But are these drinks really helping your kidneys? Or quietly making things worse? Here's the hard truth I want to walk through together with you today. Some of the very drinks you're using to help your kidneys may actually be making them work harder than they should. In this video on the kidney keys, we're going to gently, but honestly, open that up. We'll examine 4 standard hot drinks that can exacerbate protein in your urine and 3 alternatives that, when used carefully, can be more gentle on your kidneys. And, through it all, I want you to feel more in control, not more scared. Before we proceed, take a moment to reflect on your own routine. What's the first hot drink you reach for in the morning? Is it coffee, tea, a mug of broth, something else entirely? If you feel comfortable, share it in the comments. Your simple daily habit might be precisely what someone else watching this needs to hear about. Let's start with what protein in the urine actually means. In plain language, your kidneys are full of millions of tiny filters. Their job, all day, every day, is to clean your blood. They decide what to keep and what to let go. Protein is one of the things they're supposed to keep. Protein belongs in your blood, not in your urine. When your doctor says there's protein in your urine, they're really saying those filters are leaking. It's a sign that something is stressing or damaging those filters. It might not mean immediate disaster, but it does mean pay attention. Everything we're discussing today is based on real kidney science and nutritional research. No miracle cures, no detox scams, no magic powders. However, I also need to emphasize that this video is not intended as medical advice. Protein in your urine is a medical condition that requires proper diagnosis and follow-up from a qualified healthcare professional. The drinks we're going to talk about are tools. They can help or hurt, but they do not replace your medications, your blood pressure control, your diabetes management, or the care of your kidney doctor and dietitian. So why do some healthy drinks cause trouble? We live in a time where more is often marketed as better. More protein, more minerals, more herbs, more superfoods. For a young, healthy body, that extra load might not be a big deal. But your kidneys do not think like a 30-year-old fitness influencer's Instagram. Think of your kidneys like very delicate, hard-working filters, not like biceps at the gym. When a filter is worn down, and you keep forcing more and more dense material through it, more salt, more phosphorus, more protein, more oxalates, you don't make it stronger, you clog it. A healthy 20-year-old might drink a big mug of bone broth or a super concentrated herbal latte and feel just fine. But for someone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, especially with diabetes or high blood pressure, that same drink can be the difference between stable kidney function and a slow, silent decline. With that picture in mind, let's talk about 4 drinks that might look innocent, even comforting, but can be real trouble if you have protein in your urine or chronic kidney disease. First, think about a simple can of soup. It's cold outside, your joints ache a little more, and you're tired. You reach for that can of chicken noodle soup, pour it into a pot, and tell yourself, this is gentle and healing. It feels like a warm hug in a bowl. But behind that cozy image is something most people never see. Salt, a lot of it. Many canned soups and instant noodle cups contain hundreds of milligrams of sodium in a single serving. And often, that can is actually 2 servings, even though you and I both know most people eat the whole thing at once. You may have heard that most adults are encouraged to keep their daily sodium intake around the low thousands of milligrams. For people with kidney disease, doctors often recommend a much lower limit. Now imagine that one bowl of soup quietly uses up half or even all of your safe sodium budget before you've even salted your eggs, eaten a sandwich, or had dinner. It adds up faster than you'd think. What does all that salt do? Salt causes your body to retain water. Holding on to extra water means more volume and more pressure inside your blood vessels. Picture the plumbing in a house. If you continually crank up the water pressure in old pipes, something is going to give. Your kidneys sit right in that system, acting as the master filters. Constant high pressure on already stressed filters can push more protein through, exacerbating the leak and accelerating wear and tear. Does that mean you can never touch soup again? Not necessarily, but it does mean you may need to take control back. That might involve choosing low sodium or no salt added options and actually checking the sodium content on the label rather than relying on the information on the front of the can. It may seem like aiming for soups that contain 500 milligrams of sodium or less per serving and monitoring portion sizes. And, best of all, it might mean making a simple soup at home where you decide how much salt goes in. The second drink we need to talk about has a halo of natural around it: herbal teas. Walk into any grocery store and you'll see shelves and shelves of pretty boxes promising detox, cleanse, relax, energize, slim down, boost immunity, sometimes all at once. Now, herbs themselves are not evil. Many are helpful. The problem is not knowing precisely what you're drinking, especially when your kidneys are already struggling and you're on multiple medications. When you grab a mixed herbal blend from a random brand, what you pour into your cup can be something like a chemistry experiment you never signed up for. You may not know every ingredient. You may not know how much of each herb is in there. You don't know if there are contaminants. And you certainly don't see how all of that will interact with your blood pressure pills, your diabetes medication, or your blood thinner. Some herbs can be directly irritating or toxic to kidney cells at specific doses. Others can change the way your liver processes medications, making those drugs stronger or weaker in your system. For a senior with protein in the urine and a full pill box, this is not a minor detail. So, what's a safer approach? Please keep it simple. Choose teas that have one main ingredient, like peppermint, chamomile, ginger, or rooibos, from companies that clearly list what's inside. And, ideally, use some testing. Be wary of products that make big promises, such as flush your kidneys in a week or replace your medications. And always let your doctor or pharmacist know about any herbal products you use regularly. A warm cup of herbal tea can still be a comfort, but it should not be a mystery. The third drink on our handle with care list is bone broth. You've probably heard it referred to as a liquid cure-all. People claim it heals the gut, strengthens the joints, and nourishes the body at a deep level. The idea is that if you simmer animal bones for many hours, all the goodness, the minerals, the collagen, the nutrients, leaches into the liquid. And that's partly true. Long cooking does pull minerals, such as phosphorus and potassium, out of the bones and into the broth. The catch is that if you have reduced kidney function, your body may struggle to eliminate those minerals effectively. For many people with chronic kidney disease, doctors limit the daily intake of phosphorus and potassium. A big mug of long-simmered bone broth can take up a considerable portion of that allowance. Too much phosphorus over time can pull calcium out of your bones, leaving them weaker. Excessive potassium can accumulate in your blood, potentially disrupting your heart rhythm in hazardous ways. The surprising part is that when scientists have actually measured bone broth, they've often found it's not the excellent source of calcium people think it is. You may be getting more of the minerals that stress the kidneys and less of the ones you were hoping for. Does that mean bone broth is poison? No. However, if you have protein in your urine, a known kidney disease, or have been advised to limit your phosphorus and potassium intake, then daily giant mugs of bone broth may not be the best choice. Safer options might include shorter cooked broths, broths with more low-potassium vegetables, smaller portions, and most importantly, guidance from your kidney doctor or dietitian about whether it fits your situation. The fourth drink, and the one that has become a star in wellness circles, is the turmeric latte, often referred to as golden milk. Let's be clear, traditional golden milk, made with a small amount of turmeric, cooked in milk, or a plant-based alternative, a little fat, and perhaps a touch of honey, can be a gentle and soothing drink. The trouble appears when we move from tradition to trend. Many instant turmeric latte mixes use much higher doses of turmeric powder. Social media recipes encourage people to add big spoonfuls of turmeric, sometimes several times a day. And that's where the kidneys start raising their hand and saying, "Hey, wait a minute." Turmeric is rich in a substance called oxalate. Oxalate is one of the primary components that form the most common type of kidney stones. A small amount of turmeric is usually fine. However, suppose you're adding enormous amounts of oxalate-rich foods on top of other high oxalate foods. In that case, your daily total can increase, especially if you already have a history of kidney stones. Additionally, many of these golden latte mixes contain a significant amount of added sugar. For someone living with diabetes or prediabetes, which are substantial causes of kidney disease, those repeated sugar spikes are another form of stress on the kidneys and blood vessels. And then there's the superfood blend problem again. Some mixes incorporate mushroom powders, adaptogens, and other botanical extracts in unknown amounts, leading us right back into the mystery mix territory we just discussed with herbal teas. If you love golden milk and your doctor approves, there is a safer way to enjoy it. Go back to basics. Use a modest amount of turmeric, the kind you'd cook with about half to 1 teaspoon in a cup. Include a little fat, such as coconut milk or a teaspoon of oil, and a tiny pinch of black pepper to help your body actually use the turmeric. Please keep it to 1 cup a day. Be light-handed with sweeteners. That way, you get the comfort and tradition without turning your drink into a kidney challenge. If you're still with me, take a breath. This is a lot of information, and you're doing a great job. If you feel that this is helping you see your daily habits more clearly, it might be a good moment to tap the like button, as it tells the platform that this kind of careful, science-based content matters. Now that we've identified some of the threats, let's talk about the allies, 3 hot drinks that, when used wisely and with your doctor's blessing, can gently support your health rather than overload your kidneys. The first of these may not look impressive. Chicory coffee. You'll often find it on the bottom shelf in the coffee aisle and might have thought of it as a cheap knockoff. But what makes chicory interesting has nothing to do with caffeine. In fact, chicory coffee is naturally caffeine-free. Chicory root contains a type of fiber called inulin. Inulin is classified as a prebiotic. It's food for the good bacteria in your gut. When those helpful bacteria consume inulin, they produce substances that can help calm inflammation, support the gut barrier, and may assist with weight and blood sugar control. Since extra weight, poor blood sugar control, and chronic inflammation all exacerbate kidney problems, anything that gently nudges those in the right direction is worth paying attention to. From a mineral perspective, chicory coffee is also light. Compared to other drinks, it tends to be lower in potassium and phosphorus, which is good news for individuals who are monitoring those levels. The one caution is your digestive system. Because inulin is a fermentable fiber, it can cause gas or bloating if you have a very sensitive gut or irritable bowel syndrome. The motto here is to start low and go slow. Let's begin with half a cup every other day. If your stomach feels okay, you can gradually increase your intake under the guidance of your healthcare team. Our second hero drink is one you may already be familiar with, peppermint tea. From a kidney perspective, peppermint tea is almost as gentle as water, with a pleasant flavor. It's shallow in potassium, very low in phosphorus, has virtually no sodium, and contains no caffeine. All of that makes it a calm, friendly choice for many people with chronic kidney disease, including those on strict mineral limits. Peppermint also has natural compounds that can soothe the digestive system and offer mild anti-inflammatory effects. A warm cup of tea after dinner can help alleviate bloating, mild cramping, or general discomfort for some people. For many seniors juggling several medications and dietary restrictions, it's a relief to have at least one drink that feels both pleasant and safe. There is one important exception. If you struggle with acid reflux or have been told you have GERD, peppermint can sometimes make that worse. It relaxes the muscle at the bottom of the esophagus, allowing stomach acid to return more easily. If that's the case, peppermint tea may not be the best choice, and you should consult your doctor before relying on it. Our third hero is matcha, a powdered form of green tea. Unlike regular green tea, where you steep the leaves and discard them, with matcha, you whisk the powder into hot water and drink the leaf itself. That means you get more of its active compounds, especially a potent antioxidant named EGCG. Research suggests that long-term tea drinking, especially unsweetened tea, is associated with a lower risk of chronic kidney disease in many individuals. EGCG and related compounds can help calm inflammation and support your cell's own protective systems. For someone with early kidney problems or at high risk, that's encouraging news. But again, context matters. A teaspoon of matcha powder contains some potassium and a modest amount of oxalate. If your kidneys are still filtering fairly well and you're in the early stages, 1 or 2 unsweetened cups of matcha per day may be a reasonable option, especially if your doctor agrees. If you're in more advanced stages of kidney disease or you've had calcium oxalate stones, you may need to limit matcha to a smaller amount or avoid it. This is something only your kidney team can advise on properly. If you do drink matcha, choose good quality powder from a reliable source. Prepare it simply with water or a kidney-friendly milk, and skip the sugary syrups and heavy creamers that turn a healthy drink into a dessert. And stay away from high-dose green tea extract pills or powders. Those concentrate the plant chemicals to levels that can stress the liver and kidneys in a way a regular cup of tea does not. As we wrap this up, I want to bring everything back to a straightforward idea. This is not really about a list of good drinks and bad drinks. It's about learning to look deeper. The same drink that might be healing for one person can be harmful for another, depending on age, kidney function, medications, other health problems, and how much and how often they drink it. Your kidneys are not something you need to toughen up. They are fragile filters that have worked tirelessly for you for decades. Your job now is to protect them. That means choosing drinks that respect your daily budget for sodium, phosphorus, potassium, and oxalates. Drinks that have ingredients you recognize and understand. Drinks that fit into the plan you've created together with your doctor and dietitian, not with an influencer in a sponsored post. The information you've heard today is intended to provide you with the language and understanding necessary to ask better questions and feel more confident at your next appointment. It does not replace your healthcare team. They are familiar with your lab numbers, stage, and medications. They can help you decide which of these ideas suits your life and which ones you should avoid. Before we end, I'd genuinely love to hear from you. What is your go-to healthy hot drink right now? It could be something we've discussed. It could be something entirely different, such as a simple mug of warm water with lemon or a homemade ginger tea. If you're comfortable sharing, write it in the comments. Your simple recipe or little habit could be the inspiration another person in this community needs. If this video has helped you feel even a little less confused and a little more empowered, consider subscribing to The Kidney Keys, tapping the bell, and turning on all notifications. That way, you don't miss the videos that might protect your kidneys in the months and years ahead. And if you're worried because you've noticed changes such as increased tiredness, swelling in your feet or ankles, changes in your urine, or higher blood pressure, the next step is crucial. We have another video that walks through the most critical warning signs of kidney trouble and what to do if you see them. You'll see it on your screen. I invite you to watch it next. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. Take care of your kidneys, be gentle with yourself, and I'll see you in the following video.